guys, if you haven't got one and you are worried or concerned, have a good conversation with somebody. 2 inquiries that are doing next week from one from Dubai and one from San Francisco, because now their perception is that now England's on Zoom and Skype.
Any advice that you can offer to help them come out of it even stronger? What business person have you admired during this lockdown? Thank you for joining us, Tim, on Tail Talks. Can you just give a little bit of an introduction about who you are and what your business is or what you're currently doing?
Yeah, of course. So I'm Tim Elliott. I'm at Tim Elliott UK on all the socials. I wear a few different hats, but most of my work is based around helping leaders, teams and entrepreneurs use creativity to grow themselves and their businesses through kind of marketing, brand, experience, design, that sort of thing.
Brilliant. So I guess this question is probably quite good from your perspective, but also from your customer's perspective in terms of how you're adapting to some of the challenges that we're currently facing with.
Yeah, it's been interesting. So I mainly did all of my work through delivering workshops or talks, which has obviously changed, and it changed quite dramatically. I remember that the afternoon of Friday the 13th of March, everything cancelled. So I took a couple of weeks of just observing stuff, because those early days people and things seem to change every day. And then I started getting a bit more fidgety and back into work and trying to strategize stuff and think of new products and services, which didn't really matter and didn't really kind of come off. And then the last couple of weeks, everything seems to have bedded back in again now. So it's a bit of a roller coaster. There's a really good thing called the Kubler-Ross change curve. I don't know if you've heard of that, but a lot of corporates use it for managing change within their teams. But it's Kubler-Ross change curve, and I've pretty much been following it through their curve. It's really good. But we're all right now.
Yeah. No, I think it's quite interesting talking about that curve. It's a bit like storytelling. You've got those ups and downs of a story, and I think it's the same type of thing. So I think it's the world trying to weave its story and make it interesting for us all, really. There's obviously been different challenges and trying to overcome them. What opportunities have you found personally, or have some of the people that you've been surrounding yourselves with, what opportunities have you found that have been working, or you've seen that with others that have been working?
Do you know what? There's been quite a few positives, oddly. So a lot of Zoom networking meetings introduce you to people who you wouldn't usually get to in real life, because now, like, there's communities and stuff going online which I've discovered via LinkedIn or Twitter or something like that I would never have known existed, right? And they're really good, and I've met some really nice people. From a vocational and economic perspective, a lot of larger companies seem to be expediting their innovation projects. So anything that was in the kind of 2 to 3 to 5 year window for innovation projects, they're now doing now, because their supply chain is quieter, their customer base is quieter. So there's loads of opportunities. You just have to kind of look around corners you've not looked around before, and they're there. Because if you're thinking your stuff is going to come to you like normal, without doing anything different, it will struggle opportunity-wise, but they're definitely there.
No, definitely. No, I completely agree. Off the back of that then, is there any advice that you would offer to different professionals, maybe ones that are similar to you or in your kind of situation where maybe they're using talks or they're using workshops as part of their marketing? Is there any advice that you've got for those types of people to deal with this change, and any advice that you can offer to help them come out of it even stronger?
And just be curious, maybe, is the best tip, because we look at marketplaces, look at geography, right? Geography that you wouldn't usually travel to. Like, I've had 2 inquiries that are doing next week from one from Dubai and one from San Francisco, because now their perception is that now England's on Zoom and Skype. And I'm like, we've always had Zoom and Skype. But anyway, it doesn't matter that you're in the UK now. I'm like, well, it didn't, did it? But you've just got to be open to different things, because I think, although it's ridiculous, it sounds ridiculous, maybe the perception of geographic borders has now been removed. Because I've even had people from London go and say it doesn't matter that we're in London and you're not.
Yeah, no, definitely, I like it. Okay, brilliant. Thanks for that, Tim. Any kind of last remarks that you've got for anyone who might be watching?
One of the most important things to have anyway in a business, but especially now, is look at mentoring, or being mentored, or mentoring someone else. Look at big organisations that have mentors, like Creative Quarter, Big House in Nottingham. Most of the enterprise stuff, I think maybe the LEPs do mentoring. Universities, I think, do it. Or just ask people who you admire from a business sense for a conversation. You don't have to, it's not contractual. Mentoring is someone you can ask a good question and get a good answer to. You know what I mean? But I would advise, if you haven't got one and you are worried or concerned, have a good conversation with somebody. And people would answer. I think people are currently kinder than you think with their time and their answers.
Brilliant. Nice. I think that's a perfect way to end. Thank you, Tim.
Cheers, Alex.